This is the Surly Grognards for September 14th, 2015. This is Peter Bowman, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Eric Carlson. How are you doing tonight, Eric?
I'm doing all right.
Most excellent. So, what's been up, men?
Um, Not a lot. My weekend was totally devoured by Steven Universe.
Aha!
It was one of those shows on Cartoon Network that I would watch when it came on.
Right.
But I never really sought out and tracked down.
Sure.
Then I read an article about it somewhere, about it being the best show on television. It can't be that good. Can it? So I found it online, and I watched it, and before I knew it, I'd seen the entire fucking series. Yeah, it's that good.
Every time I've tried watching it, I've bounced off of it. It's not that it's bad, it's just like, I don't know, something about it that just doesn't click with me, and I'm not sure what it is.
And I can totally get that. The show uses both its music and its action very sparingly, but when it uses them, they're really fucking good.
Yeah, I can see that.
And yeah, the character development, like the amount of character development they cram into 11 minutes is fucking amazing.
Right.
Like, I totally get not liking it, just like I totally get not liking, like, Adventure Time or regular show. I actually don't like regular show.
Right.
But yeah, Steven Universe is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Adventure Time, but I'm not as up to date on it as some people are. I just don't. It doesn't hook me quite the same way that everyone else. Whereas I acknowledge it's a great show, and I really enjoy it, but I can't sit down and make myself watch long chunks of it.
Yeah, Adventure Time is one of those shows that sneaks up and stabs you. Because it will just be like goofy weirdness in candy-colored post-apocalypse, and then it'll just sort of sneak up and slide a shiv right between your feels, and you're like, oh God, what? Why would you do that? And that's one of the reasons why I loved Adventure Time.
Sure.
It's kind of like Futurama that way.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah,
Futurama is quite possibly one of the most brutal shows out there. If you actually, when you get through the comedy, it's like, yeah. Wait, what? Oh God, the dog.
Yeah, the fucking dog episode. Yeah, the fucking one where Leela gets stabbed by the space bee.
Yep.
Like, holy shit, that one wrecked me.
The one with his brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that was a not a feels episode until the very end. Then you're like, oh God, why?
Yeah. Like it sneaks up and just slides a shiv right between your feels, man.
That one wasn't a shiv. That was a 2x4 to the face. Out of fucking nowhere. It's like,
yeah.
Wham! Oh God, why?
Even Zoidberg gets a fucking feels episode.
Yes. But back to Steven Universe. I mean, everything I've read about it is made me think, yeah, that looks like it's a quality show that is that apparently is not my cup of tea.
And yeah, I totally get that, but like, I'm amazed at the degree of characterization in there. Like the most together of the three super gems is later on you find out is also the most fucking crazy. Like Pearl comes across as very much a sort of like motherly together one, and like as the show unfolds, you discover that she's fucking batshit insane. Like really, like seriously has a lot of issues she's not grappling with.
I see. Yeah, it's one of the shows I intend to give another shot at some point, but I need to be in the right mood I need to be in the mood to be giving something a shot as opposed to wanting to sit down and just watch something.
That wasn't my intention this weekend. I was going to get stuff done, and then no, you're not painting miniatures, you're not running errands, you have to watch more Steven Universe.
Yeah, I did waste a bunch of time one evening this week watching a bunch of Shokugeki no Soma, but
which one is that?
Otherwise known as Food Wars.
Oh, right, the one you were telling me about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's I've read the manga, so I already know what's going to happen, and it still sucked me in because the animation's really good,
Mm.
and it's a good story, and
Yeah, I don't dig cooking shows in general.
I totally get
I
that.
don't know what about them. It's just I don't know. It just doesn't hold my attention the way it does a lot of other people.
Yeah, I know. This is not a cooking show.
Okay.
It's about cooking, but it's an action. It's basically it's a shonen action show, but it's about cooking.
Okay, I can dig that.
It makes cooking.
That's just ridiculous enough to push the right buttons.
Also the mangaka used to do hentai.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
there is fan service to as a warning.
Fan service is something I've never really bugged me as long
I
as
know,
they're-
but it's a problem for some people, and I want to get that
Yeah.
out there.
fan service. Yeah, like I said, fan service isn't something that ever really bugged me. I only have issues with it when they try to cover it up with plot. Um, like, no, she's naked because she has to breathe through her skin. Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah,
freezing.
yeah, sure,
Freezing.
whatever, dude.
No.
No, you just wanted to have her in a bikini top and tights. I get that. I understand. It's hot. I got it. But seriously, don't try to tell me it's anything else than that.
Oh God. But yeah, the reactions to eating the food is almost universally freaking hilarious,
Okay.
and oh my God, over the top.
Dude, it's a shonen action show about cooking. It has to be over the
Yes. Also, as I said, done by a former hentai artist. So the term foodgasm is not entirely inaccurate. And despite this, it's actually got like actual character development and like a supporting cast that doesn't suck. The main character is actually not a complete idiot, which is always fun.
top. Mm,
It's always a nice change of pace. I mean, he's a fairly typical shonen protagonist, but he's not a moron, which is nice.
Right.
And he actually learns things.
like, yeah, I mean, Kill la Kill, everyone spends half their time naked, but there's actual real character development, and they're all interesting characters. Some people don't like Mako. Those people have no souls.
I can understand why you might not like Mako.
I can understand it. That just means that you don't have a soul.
She is often the type of character I would find infuriatingly annoying. But she somehow works in that show.
Yeah.
Oh God! But yeah, so that's sort of what I've been watching. Also been got caught up in Overlord again.
Mm.
I missed a few weeks.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'm behind a week or so. So I need to do that.
Yeah. Wow.
Like the last one I saw is the fight between him and Clementine.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that got me. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, and I'm quite the hypocrite. Squid.
I'm like, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of debating what I think of the show more as I'm watching it, like because
Right.
part of it it's a lot of fun, but like after that episode, I'm like, what is actually like going to be an actual challenge for him in any way, shape, or form?
Mm.
And I haven't seen one yet.
Other players, obviously.
Yeah, but the series is going to be ending in a couple episodes.
That's true. They'll probably give us some ridiculous like
Oh well, yeah.
cliffhanger, and
Well,
we'll have to wait.
it's based on a light novel, and I don't know how the light novel ends. So
Right. And it's probably going to be a ridiculous cliffhanger, and we'll have to either wait 2 years for a sequel, or we just won't get one.
yeah.
Looking at you, No Game, No Life.
As opposed to Log Horizon, which got a second series before the first series ended, which is bordering on unheard of given what was airing on NHK.
Yeah, no shit.
It's like, and yeah, no, it's this popular. You're getting a second season. Woo!
Woohoo! Now I have to wait for the source material to catch up.
Yeah, it's likely they're getting a third season once the source material pulls far enough ahead
Yeah.
because it's that freaking popular. But
Friggin' yeah, and Attack on Titan's like, yeah, we've got like 10 issue, like 3 years worth of stuff. It's just that in that 3 years worth of stuff, there's like 3 episodes worth. You guys think you can speed up the pacing on the manga a bit?
what? Who? Huh? But so I did want to talk about something. Actually, it sort of occurred to me while we were sort of
Shooting the shit.
yeah. Uh, I was. It sort of occurred to me, and this is sort of one of the, that I was. This came about when I was talking. I was talking with Word about her character for the Unleashed game,
Mm.
which is just so there's no shock on next time we play. But there's going to be a slight change in her character. She's going to be changing.
Yeah, we were
characters.
we were actually chatting about that last night
Yeah, I know.
over episode while I was watching episodes of Steven Universe.
Yes. I saw some. I saw some of it, but at any rate, this is also for the chat and such. But we're probably going to be changing characters. At any rate, but it's interesting. We're talking about it. Word's really much more a fan of Iron Kingdom as opposed to Unleashed.
Oh, that's cool. I understand that. I like both equally, which I know kind of makes me a heretic. But to like two awesome things the same amount, I must choose. You must like either Star Trek or Star Wars.
Yeah, see, it's like I'm one of those people that I like both a lot,
Yeah,
a lot, for very different reasons.
but yeah, I here's the thing. Full Metal Fantasy really scratches that sort of like steampunk, like junker tech itch,
Yeah.
while Unleashed has all the monstery goodness.
Yeah, I think part of it is, and I actually sort of feel similarly to Word. I'm not as big a fan of Unleashed as I am of War Machine, with one caveat, which I'll get to in a second. Overall, I mean, I'm not as big a fan of playing Monster Races as you are, for instance, Eric.
Clearly,
Right. And without that sort of thing there, Unleashed sort of because it's so much less technologically focused, it's all of a sudden really more sort of generic, more sort of archetypical fantasy. Not generic's the wrong word. Archetypical fantasy, high fantasy, as opposed to the steampunky Iron Kingdom stuff, which is very different.
yes.
So unless you get a kid, but the big thing that changes up Unleashed from being typical fantasy is that it's a lot of non-human races, very non-human races,
Yeah, no, there's
which is cool.
humans are like humans are actually like not the default in Unleashed. It's like, no, you want to do default humans, go play Full Metal Fantasy. You can play a human in Unleashed, but you're expected to play a Trollkin or a Pharaoh or a Tharn or
Right. And I have problems with some of that personally. It just like most of the races, they're a bit more monstrous than I personally like.
I know, and which is why I'm a little surprised you agreed to go with Unleashed.
I wanted to give it a try, honestly.
Cool.
And because I'm always willing to try to. I'm usually willing to try new things in gaming. Like I'm willing to try to stretch myself and see if I can go with this, and I'm doing okay with it. But I really do prefer. I mean, like if I'm going to be doing I love the system.
Yes,
So like, I would prefer to I would prefer to.
and I really do prefer Fury over Focus.
That is the big thing for me. Is
Like-
the flavor of like if when we get down to that's the one thing I really prefer in Hordes / Unleashed. Is I think especially in Hordes, honestly, in the war game, is that the mechanics for Fury and the Warlocks with their war beasts is far more interesting and better designed, I think,
Yes,
than the focus mechanic for Warcasters and their Warjacks. I prefer the flavor of the Warcasters and the Warjacks by a noticeable margin.
Honestly, I totally agree, which is why I have fallen in with the Pharaoh. I still get to have my steam-powered weirdness and get to play around a Fury.
I can see that.
Also, dude, Frankenpigs.
Yeah, that's where you kind of lose me. But like, yeah, honestly, in terms of the tabletop, I'm like, I look at the Horde stuff for like the war game, and I'm like, I love the mechanics of hordes, but I'm like, I look at the factions and I'm like, yeah, the Trollkin are alright.
You know what? I think mechanically, both you and our friend Chris Stevens would really enjoy the circle. But I also can't see either of you really getting into circle flavor wise.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh no,
like
I
honestly, circle mechanically is straight up Chris's alley.
yes,
Very melee focused, very hit and run, very hits hard and fragile kind of thing.
right.
But yeah, he's not going to touch tree hugging hippies, even if they are half of them are blood frenzied wolf monsters.
Right. So why would you think I'd be particularly into the circle
Um, just
mechanically?
the degree of dirty tricks they have available. You love your weird synergies, and Circle has that in spades.
Fair point. I do. Uh, I'm not as comborific as Roach is, but
Right. Well, I much prefer my stuff to be more or less self-sufficient, which is why I play Khador.
right. Yeah. But yeah, hordes. As I said, I think the warlock mechanic is brilliant.
Yeah.
The fury mechanic is brilliant. It's
I love the flavor behind it, that the whole like symbiotic link between the beast and the lock,
sure.
and how they're just each one is described differently in the flavor. Like one of the things about Grunther in the tabletop in the Unleashed game is Grunther is a really weird Pharaoh warlock in that he totally babies his war beasts.
Right.
The relationship is supposed to be very adversarial with Pharaoh because both Pharaoh themselves and their war beasts are stubborn as fuck.
Right.
It's weird that I don't beat my war beast.
right.
And that I don't have to get it to do its job, to do stuff.
Right. Interesting. Yeah.
Like that's one of the things. Like I consciously made that decision. Like, no, Grunther's going to be different. He's going to be like totally baby his war beast, and all the other Pharaoh are going to make fun of him for being soft.
Right. All right. I actually have a question for you, Eric. Though.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase it exactly, but I'm just sort of thinking about this. When looking at fantasy role-playing games, what exactly do you look for in them? And beyond just like sort of from a flavor and mechanical standpoint, I'm curious.
I need to when I look at it, I need to be able to look at a fantasy world and go, okay, these are the consistent rules here, and this is the political climate, and these are the races and how they get along, and these all make sense.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you know, standard world building kind of shit.
Sure.
But like I dislike having the very black and white good versus evil without the ability to play evil good or good evil. If that makes any
I
sense.
think it does. Yeah.
Like just because I'm playing a paladin doesn't mean I shouldn't be allowed to be an asshole. Just because I'm playing a blackguard doesn't mean I can't be a nice guy.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So good doesn't have to be nice is part of it.
Yes, and evil doesn't have to be an asshole.
Okay.
And yeah, like the blackguard might be still completely out for himself and all this other stuff, but politeness costs nothing and can gain you everything.
Right.
And that's a very evil mindset I don't see being exploited a lot, particularly in the more archetypical evil races.
Right.
Meanwhile, a lot of the so-called good guys tend to be real pretentious cockbags. Like, they might be doing everything for the right cause, but that just makes it worse. That just makes you want to hit them more. Just because they're right. They're right, goddammit, which means I want to punch them more.
Yeah, as I said, I was just sort of thinking about like I just trying to think of your preferences
Also,
and thoughts and
yeah. And also, like, I absolutely have to get my monster on. Like, I have to be able to have at least have the option of playing something moderately monstrous.
Hmm.
Like, whether I choose to take that option or not, it needs to be there on the table.
Okay, interesting.
Like, I can't, like, Dungeon World. There are no orcs or goblins or other gribbly races for me to look at. Like, it's just not presented as an option, and that bothers the hell out of me.
Right.
I may not choose to be a half orc. I might be decide I'm going to play a dwarf fighter, like in the
Well,
fourth ed game we were doing for a while.
yeah.
But the option was there to be a wolf monster,
Right.
and it's important to have that option. Just because I don't take it doesn't mean I don't want it there.
Fair point. Yeah, it's one of those things that like I get that for you. It's one of those things that and there are a lot of games that don't really have that, and
Yes, and it bugs the living fuck out of me.
it's because and I think it's because it's not a very common desire for players in some ways, you know.
I can. That's something that I always found kind of that it isn't as more. I always found it weird that it's not as more common than it is, because dude, I get to be whatever I want on in this world. Why can't I be a gribbly slavering monster? Why can't I have spider limbs or big fangs or whatever?
I think it ties in partially part of the reason why elves are so popular.
Everyone wants to be fucking pretty.
Yep. That's actually
You can be anything. Everyone will be pretty. Why not be a monster?
I don't know. I mean, I like elves, I like dwarves, I like most races, as I've said many times. You know,
Right.
there are a few notable exceptions.
Kendra, no.
Kendra can go take a long walk off a short pier.
Yeah, I've never. Kender do tend to be irritating.
They are one of the races. They're one of the few races in any RPG I've ever come across where I can't find any redeeming features. And Lord knows I've looked. I find Tinker Gnomes kind of infuriating.
Tinker Gnomes work great if you reskin them as goblins.
Kinda. You need to change a few things further still. I mean, they're just... Interestingly, a lot of the things I don't like... Both those races are in Dragonlance, now I'm thinking about it. Which is not one of my favorite D&D worlds, let's just put it that way.
Yeah, there's... Something doesn't quite work about Dragonlance for me either.
I mean, I've read some of the books and they're okay, but, you know...
Forgotten Realms is alright, as far as the established ones. Dark Sun is my favorite.
Yeah.
Because it's... I know it's the Power Gamer one, but even if it wasn't... Dude, it's post-apocalyptic fantasy with friggin' mantis people.
Yeah, it's got a lot of strikes against it for me. Not the least of which was the sheer glee that Power Gaming Munchkins took over looking at when they saw Dark Sun.
Yeah, I know. And I wish it wasn't so Power Gamery because it tends to attract the kind of player I don't enjoy playing with.
I mean, that got stripped out mostly in 4th Ed, but...
Right.
But, like, God, the 2nd Ed Dark Sun crowd is just like, oh, God,
Jesus.
go away! You go play your Dark Sun, I'll stay over here and play Forgotten Realms. Or my own game world. Shoot.
Can you come play Dark Sun with me so I'm not surrounded by chodes? I want to be... I want to play actual D&D and not spreadsheet the dice game.
I was busy playing Forgotten Realms mostly,
I
honestly.
know.
Actually,
No, I totally get the appeal of making your character as cool as it can be.
Sure, absolutely. I have no problem with that.
No, I totally got that, but like that's just one very small part of the game for me, and
I have no problem
it's
with
so big for a lot of other people.
Yeah, I have no problem with actual power gaming, to be totally honest. But you got to do other stuff too.
Yes.
For me, at least. But I mean, it's one of those things again. Like different people get different things out of our role-playing games. I mean, it's just a fact. And I mean, like, and I'm enough of a gamist that, you know, I get that. There's certain aspects of power gaming that speak to me.
Yeah, like be perfectly honest, Grunther is kind of the more I play him, the more I realize he's tweaked to be a combat monster.
Yeah, kinda.
And I feel kind of bad about how much time he sucks up in combats. But at the same time, there's so many fun little tactical options he's got available.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, power attacks, baby. Power attacks are fucking awesome.
Yeah. And I felt a little bit bad for Nick. Nick's feeling his character's a little bit dry in combat. He kind of is because he's really straightforward.
Yeah, he's he's an assault battery. He sits there and he lays down artillery fire.
He shoots a lot. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's fine. It's effective. The problem was I really couldn't. I mean, I helped them build the character, and I couldn't really do anything particularly wonky or complex because he just didn't have time to sit down and read all the rules.
Right.
Because it was because of work and such. I totally got that. Totally makes sense. Totally fair.
No, I totally got that. That's cool. And yeah.
So making a combat machine archer makes total sense.
And it's really quick, easy, and straightforward, and anyone could pick it up if Nick couldn't make it.
Right. Straightforward character.
Yep.
And I'm gonna spend some time looking to see what kind of help him find options to make it more interesting.
I know I sing the praises of the Brigand all the time, but I see so much stuff the Brigand can do. Both the Brigand and the Monster Hunter are both just like big piles of here are tactical options for the tabletop.
Yep.
And yeah, and I really like both those careers.
I do too.
I was just totally enamored by the mook removable of the Slaughterhouser.
But yeah, it's really interesting though. Like having help word with the new character that she's gonna be playing is
well, she's basically playing Smythe,
Smith effectively. Except not going the bounty hunter route.
Except a girl and from Lale.
Well, also going it's
also not hanging out with an entirely different group of reprobates.
Yeah, and doesn't use pistols.
Right. I thought she had a hand cannon.
She has one, but her primary weapon is going to be the sling.
Okay.
Because she actually has thrown weapons really high, which is fine. So they'll be good accuracy. It's just I mean, the big thing was that was more willing to sacrifice a bit of accuracy to basically split between thrown weapon and
the hand cannon
and guns.
Yeah.
So she's got skill with. She's got I think she's got a rank in pistol and has poise 4, but she's the character's human. But
right.
But yeah, Smith did not start off with as a military officer is the thing.
That's right. You started out as the bounty hunter.
Yes.
Thinking about it. Yeah.
Which gave me which makes the character very, very different.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I was just remembering later on he took on military officer because everyone takes military officer for their third career because it's the third career.
Well, it's a good option out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed. I the big thing was that it's like, yeah, I can tell you exactly. She was interested in the alchemist. Like I said, I can tell you exactly how the alchemist works.
Yeah.
Because the alchemist
is cool. I don't like the alchemist as much as the bone grinder, but I'm also really enamored by the whole meat magic thing.
Whereas I look at the alchemist and go, but alchemy. It's like I get to all this crazy stuff and don't have to be gifted.
Right. Yeah, that is a big plus.
Big win for me.
Skilled or intellectual.
Right.
Is a big plus.
And I mean, I honestly I find alchemy more compelling than the meat magic by leaps and bounds.
We should totally sucker someone into running a game that will allow us to use both. And you will be an alchemist, and I will be a bone grinder, and we will argue over the best way to render down Dark Hills.
Well, we'll get to split it pretty evenly, probably. You get all these bits, I get all these bits.
No, but I need those bits. But no, Mr. Bone Grinder, you can't just use the whole organ. Look at all the juices that if you render it down properly, it's much more effective. No, it's not. I'm using the whole liver.
But I can make like 5 firebombs from that one liver.
But look what I can do with the liver. If I smear it all over myself, I gain this kind of magic.
I hate you so much. Yeah, the real question is what I'd want to go for my second career if I did that. Because I wouldn't want to do Smith again. I have to do something different.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem when I was thinking about a career to make for this game. Was I couldn't think of anything that I really wanted to play combined with Bone Grinder at the time that didn't involve me also playing a Gator Man.
Right.
Because I kind of figured Alice is going to jump on the Gator Man right away and probably do a Boker, and we didn't need two Voodoo Gators.
No. The interesting thing I was thinking about with the one possibility that sort of popped in my head for the Alchemist was Alchemist, and this would end up with me being gifted, unfortunately, but well, quote unfortunately, but Arcane Mechanic.
Yeah, those two I can imagine those two combining really well. Not a lot of straight up combat potential, but outside of combat, you have all the skills, and you do all the wacky like super science.
Yeah, the one drawback to it is, well, I mean, does Arcane Mechanic get Jack marshalling stuff?
I think so. Yes.
Well, the problem is that depending on where it's set, like Jacks are a problem.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: like, you don't start with a Jack. I mean, Field Mechanic starts with a Labor Jack.
No, that's not the problem. The problem is that about half the Arcane Mechanics spell list is really only good for Jack. Like, their best spells are Jack support spells.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's actually or anti-Jack spells. It's like
Yeah, there is that problem. It's kind of like looking over the Pharaoh spell list, the Pharaoh Warlock spell list the other day. Like, so much like Battle Group or War Beast support spells.
Yep.
Really good stuff. But I'm looking at them all, I'm like, these would all be really better if I had another point in Arcane or another War Beast to make it worth casting.
Or both.
Or both. Because I was seriously looking at mobility, which is +2 movement in Pathfinder for the entire battle group. But it's two Fury, and I only have 3.
Yeah.
If I had another point of Fury or another War Beast, it would totally be worth it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I would love to actually in some game play an Alchemist Field Mechanic.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you get your own version of Lugnut. Honestly, having looked at the various Labor Jacks, they're I think one of the ones in King's Nations and Gods is clearly superior to all the others I would suggest taking.
Yeah, I think it's one of the Ordic ones, right?
Yeah, that's the one where the illustration has the gas spear in the net.
Yeah, I think it's one of the Ordic ones. Yeah, it's quite good. Yes.
It's pretty much a Warjack with a dumb cortex, is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, but the other option, of course, is that I forget what I was going to say. Oh well, never mind. Oh no, I remember now. The other option technically would be to if the character was Dwarven, then you actually start with one of the Rulic Light Warjacks.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the Gunner,
which is really good.
Yes, it is. But
I don't have that no quarter, but I remember on the tabletop and being really annoyed with the Gordson Blaster. Is it the one with the spray attack?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Being like, oh, you jerk.
Although I think I'd probably want to do something a little bit different for my Jack. I don't know what I'd want to do exactly. I know where I'd want it to end up, effectively.
Right.
Which would be somewhat atypical for the way a lot of Jacks end up being played. I was thinking wanting the sort of the scatter gun equivalent on one arm and then like a reach weapon on the other, as opposed to the reach weapon and shield.
It's a really good option, honestly. Like
I agree, but like it's so obvious because
I was seriously considering it for Lugnut if I ever figured out a way to boost his rat to respectable levels because he was like 3.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like he could not hit the broadside of a barn with a shotgun.
I mean, that's part of the reason. Like, if you have an arcane mechanic in your group, or if you are an arcane mechanic and have that, you can there's spells that help them with
Yeah,
shooting.
you can give it like there are spells I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head that like let it boost its range attack rolls or something.
Yeah, but yeah, I was I just sort of it's one of those things that I really love the alchemist career. I just love the things it can do.
Yeah, the alchemist is a really cool career, and one of the characters is noodling on where I talk about doing the Kadorn Expeditionary Force was a Grey Lord alchemist.
Nice, I like
And
that.
just doing like, here, have a bomb. Also, you're frozen.
Boom, freeze, hee hee. Why are you doing this to me? Because I'm Kadoran. I don't know.
For the motherland, bitches.
All right, I see where you're going with that. Okay. But yeah, I really do enjoy like Iron Kingdoms. I love the game, both Iron Kingdoms and War Mach- and Iron Kingdoms Unleashed. I like them both a lot mechanically.
Yes.
I wish there was a. I wish that it was. I wish there was I wish there was another game done that was more traditional fantasy using the same rules.
I totally get that.
Because there are times I'd like to do traditional fantasy. I'd like to kind of like to use this rule set. I mean, I could do that too. I mean, I could easily like have my
Yeah.
own game world.
Yeah, you can
And
easily
like
file off
just like go okay, and
yeah.
this career is no, and this career is no.
file out the serial numbers on the races.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's really
Yeah.
like no that a lot of it's no problem. Like, oh no, okay, we've got elves, we've got humans, we've got dwarves right there. We got the basic races in the basic book.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just if you really want to go like hardcore fantasy, just repurpose gobbers to halflings
yeah, that's easy enough.
and call trollkin half orcs and
Or something.
or something.
I mean,
Or
hell,
just don't have them.
they could even be they could even be Trollkin. I mean,
Yeah, it's true. They could just be trollkin. You just change them so they've got big noses and tusks instead
Yeah.
of giant jaws and no noses.
and quills.
Yeah.
Yeah, you change them to sort of lank is supposed to be solidly built brick
Yeah.
bricks of
Make them much more. Yeah, make them much more like
lanky and
yeah, much more like Norwegian troll.
yeah.
That was the phrase I was looking for.
Yes, that'd be easy enough to do. And
Yeah.
the Ogren or half ogres done.
Yeah,
I mean it's
yeah,
like
and then you can use Pharaoh for orcs because they fill the exact same ecological niche.
they do indeed actually.
Gatormen or lizardmen.
Yeah, they're big scary lizardmen, but they're lizardmen nonetheless.
Yeah,
Uh,
long trunks are weird. Same with Tharn. I guess Tharn would be like evil shapeshifters.
I mean they're lichens.
sort of like-
I mean
Yeah, they're lichens. Yeah, that works.
you just say they are. And they might not be a player character race. They might be like
Yeah,
they're the weir. I mean,
yeah, that makes perfect sense actually.
and you've got the bog trogs. Honestly, I mean, they're a problematic player character race, anyways, just
Yeah,
because of their limitations.
because they're so tied to water. I mean, Gatormen get around that by being actual reptiles as opposed to fishmen.
I mean, because the bog trogs are effectively Kuatoa. I mean,
Yeah, except not as smart.
no,
Bog trucks are kind of dumb as stumps.
except they're not elder god worshipping cultist crazies. I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is a point in their favor for once. Kuatoa are kind of,
Jerks.
yeah. Yeah. And insane.
Yeah.
And worship deities that want to end the world. I mean,
Well, who doesn't really?
I confess the thought has passed my mind on a couple of occasions.
Everybody wants to end the world.
Yeah, that's actually more palatable than ruling it, to be totally honest.
Yes.
Ruling would be so much work.
There's a lot of work involved with ruling the world.
I mean, if I could like get
The
all the benefits,
bureaucracy
if
and
I could get all the benefits without any of the work, I'd be all for it. But I'm realistic. I know exactly how much work it would actually take.
yeah, so I set myself as God Emperor, and then your Grand Visor, you handle all the shit. And I'll just sit here and live in cybernetic delight.
And then he'll overthrow me, and it'll be terrible.
Oh no, that I know exactly who I'd put in charge, and he'd be terrible, but revel in it.
Well, then you're gonna suffer popular uprising.
Yeah, probably. It'll be a great ride, though.
Oh my god! But yeah, yeah, it's interesting. I love the Iron Kingdoms games mechanically, and
Yeah.
I love Iron Kingdoms Full Metal Fantasy's world overall. I'd like to explore more of it in games that I am running at some point.
Mm,
Like right now, I'm exploring doing the pirate stuff in the Thursday game, which has been fun. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep doing that, but
right.
though I have an interesting little plot line I'm working on. Let's see if the players that's in the background that they haven't really they've seen as aspects they have decided so far not to actually directly interact with it. Which I don't really blame them because they're pirates, and it's sort of like, how is this our problem?
Right, right.
And it really isn't right now because they don't actually know what actually is going on.
But
But
eventually it will be their problem.
it could actually be a significant problem for them. And it's really funny, but I'm not gonna. I don't. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you're not going to spoil it on the
Right,
stream.
because I know that some of them actually listen to the show. Someone we have to get some of them on. Honestly,
Mm.
I'd love to.
Yeah, like I played a mighty character. I played a gifted character. Next character I do in an Iron Kingdoms game is going to be skilled.
Right.
I've decided, and it just depends on what skilled character I do.
Yeah, it's skilled's really good.
Yeah,
It's just
I
really
really
good.
enjoyed Mighty. I'm enjoying. I feel like I'm not really playing a proper gifted character because I'm a warlock. But
I've gotten to see a good chunk of how gifted plays out from the GM side of things. To be totally honest,
right,
like I knew exactly what the Cephalax last session could do, and
yeah,
squeezed
yeah.
basically every drop
Way
out
to
of
not
that
pull
one.
punches, by the way. That like that was a good, proper, awesome fight. I really enjoyed that fight.
I was pretty sure I wasn't going to kill you all, but it was going to hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah. It's like, oh, what should I do with the Cephalax? Like, don't use telekinesis. Don't. Oh, that's right. I can use telekinesis. Damn it.
I'm like, what do I want to do here? I could do this, do that, do this. Oh no, wait. I was sitting there doing the math in my head. I was like, do I have enough focus to do everything I need to do with this? Just barely. Sweet. Do I have enough, can I actually can I cast all three spells and boost the things I need to boost without going over double his arcane?
Right.
And I had just enough because he had arcane 5 because I'm a jerk.
Honestly, that I would have given him a 5 also.
Yeah. The default for Cephalax is 4, but there's an option they're saying, yeah, they can go up to 5.
Yeah, I definitely would have given him 5. Cephalax should be scary.
And he was.
I'm surprised he didn't throw a monstrosity at us.
That would have killed you guys.
With those like big drudges, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I basically wanted to debate between the drudges and the monstrosity. I figured large drudges would be more fun.
Yeah, and they were suitably terrifying.
The big difference is that if I want to use a monstrosity, I would have wanted to use the Exelon instead.
Right, so you can give it focus and have it do power attacks.
Yes. Which may or may not happen at some point in the future, because the Cephalax may or may not return. Nope, you'll never see them again. Nope.
Never again.
So, Eric, what do you think the Cephalax and the drudges were actually running away from? I'm curious.
We're running away from? I think they were there to I don't think they were running away from anything. I think they were there snagging up shit that got snagging up the previous dragon's horde after everyone fucking buggered off. They're like, ooh, let me see here, Orgoth stuff, and this is good, and here's something I can dissect to learn more stuff, and blah 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 blah. We just happened to catch them as they were heading back down to the tunnels.
That's kind of what happened, yes. Kind of.
So if they were running from something, I imagine it's I don't know what they'd be running from if they're running from something.
Well, it's not. They're not running from something per se, but
Right.
it's more. They decided not to deal with something in the place. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. Well, it's probably a big ass dragon spawn. Although might be a blighted drake. That'd be really annoying. Like a blight.
I love the fact that I've actually dropped hints for what might be going on that you might pick up on, but
It's there's some sort of big flying lizardy thing, which is either
yes,
a blighted drake or a
dragon spawn with wings.
or a winged dragon spawn.
Yeah, that is that. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. That is there.
Yeah. But lots of glass vials, some text that we couldn't read because they're written in stupid scribbles, as Grunther would put it.
They're Orgoth books. It's not a I'm not going to lie. That
Yeah, stupid scribbles.
yes.
And some clearly Orgoth artifacts there, which I totally did not pick up, totally ignorant of what was going on. Hey, look at this great sword covered in screaming faces. It shift when I look at them right. I'm going to pick it up. Does everyone else feel the overwhelming urge to murder everything around me?
I very explicitly was not going to give you guys a fell blade.
A fell blade? Because it would fucking, like, be the end of one character?
Yes. It would be the end of either you or either Grunther or Lenore.
Yeah.
One of the two of you would start using it.
Yeah. Well, you know that there's actually a, in the tabletop, there's actually a Pharaoh character solo with a fell blade.
Oh, is there? I did not know that.
He's actually really good for 2 points. I'm amazed he's only 2 points. He's a goddamn engine of destruction if he manages to touch anything. Unfortunately, he does not have the keyword Doom Reaver, so I can't use him in Butcher 2's Theme Force.
Ah. C'est la vie.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a Doom Reaver piggy. I'm actually looking at the model right now because I painted him recently.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's Orgoth wackiness in there, and a bunch of glass vials. He was clearly after something. I don't know what. Grunther frankly doesn't care.
Oh yeah, it makes total sense. I mean,
Yeah, he's here to do a job, and he gets to use violence, so he's happy.
yay, violence! But
Grunther,
yeah,
kill them finally.
oh god, I'm still trying to figure out. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if and when I'm ever going to get a chance to actually play in an Iron Kingdoms game as a player. Again.
Right.
Because I mean, I don't get to play that often in games in general. Because
I didn't have so many problems with the map tools in general. I think about running a game for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I just the Tuesday night crew. If it wasn't for the fact it was so far away, I'd probably be starting one.
Yeah, at some point
I do not want to haul the entire fucking library every week, along with all the models and everything.
Yeah, I know.
If I had a car, it'd be another matter, but I don't have a car, so.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, honestly, I mean, it's the reason I'm very glad I have now picked up. I did get myself a used Kindle that I've since rooted and put
Right.
Android on, and I basically got my Iron Kingdom books in there now. That helps a lot. Even though I massively prefer reading them in hard copy, massively.
Yes. Oh,
For
absolutely.
in-game referencing, it's okay. I still prefer, like I still have to tote with me. Like I tote my main book with me anyways.
Right, because it's good to be able to pass that around and shit.
Exactly. Well, virtually everybody in my Thursday crew has the book, but
Right. Wish everybody in the Tuesday crew had their own copy of the books.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, everybody's cheap.
Yes. I have. Yes. At some point I have to get back to coming out on Tuesdays, but
Yeah, we're still doing the Pathfinder game, so
oh, cool. How's it going?
it's going all right. Chris seems to be really enjoying it, but because it's Chris, tangents happen.
Yes.
Like Chris is a great game master when he's actually like interested in game mastering, but he's very tangent prone.
Yes. Well, it happens to me too, but
Yeah.
I didn't know you actually started up a Pathfinder game. I wasn't sure what game you guys were doing because I haven't been by in a while.
Yeah, we started up a Pathfinder game more because Chris has been wanting to try out Pathfinder, and because he actually has the book.
Right. That's a big plus for it. Yeah.
Yes. I'm a little surprised he didn't do a Star Wars game, but I think he's still holding out hope that he can convince Hannah to run it. Honestly, if he had his own copy of friggin' Iron Kingdoms, I would offer to run Star Wars if he ran Iron Kingdoms. But
Yeah, I could see that.
he doesn't have his own book, and much as I like Chris, I am leery of lending books to him. He tends to manhandle the spines.
Yeah, I can see that. I try to be as gentle as I can be on books, but occasionally the spines on hardcovers have minor problems in mine. But
Yeah.
it's usually my books that happens to.
Right. And I'm really careful. I've been really careful with the spines of my books ever since in high school, having having to rebuy the Skaven book because it fell apart on me.
Well, honestly, I wish the RPG books, even the hardcovers, were better bound to begin with.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I wish they would spend money on fucking like really good binding on books in general.
Yeah. Oh God, one of the guys. God, I can't remember his name. Crap. One of the guys used to play Fantasy Battle at Your Move Games. One of the things he did was part of his job was binding books and such.
Right.
So he actually would rebind all his rule books.
That's pretty awesome.
So he actually he came in one time with his fantasy. I think it was fifth edition Fantasy Battle book, which he'd rebound hardcover in leather, and it was gorgeous.
Awesome.
It's just like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And it was just like, real binding. So it was like,
Nice.
oh my God, it was gorgeous.
Yeah, my third edition Shadowrun book like came apart, and then I just got it spiral bound. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Actually, Hannah got it spiral bound. She's like, "I'm going by there anyway. Do you want me to fix this for you? Yes, please."
But yeah, like most of my books are in actually decent condition, but
Yeah, well, I tend to baby my books. Well, that's not entirely true. I tend to kick the crap out of them, but when I'm actually handling them, I'm very careful.
right. I'm sort of the same way. Like most of my hardcover RPG books have not had their spines break yet.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of them that have had it happen. And it's much more common with the paperbacks because the binding in paperbacks is shit.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just a given. Paperback binding is crap. It's just
Yeah, it really is. But like, I'm sort of the opinion that, like, yeah, the cover is there for a reason.
yeah.
Like, it's there to protect the pages, and if it gets a few dings and scratches in it, whatever. It's my book. I don't care.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh yeah. I'm much more
But
careful.
you baby that fucking spine, man. I don't want to lose pages.
Yeah. Fuck. But yeah, the one problem with the Kindle is it's a little bit small for like reading, like doing long-term reading. It's fine for looking up stuff, but
Right.
for like trying to sit there and read through the text in a rule book for a long period, any period of time, it's a little tricky.
Yeah, no, I totally got you. And
But honestly, that is a recommendation I can make for, like, honestly, if you can get your hands on a cheap Kindle, it's worth it, just for that. install Dropbox and like just upload PDFs.
Right. Yeah, I should look into doing that at some point.
Yeah, I got my Kindle for about $50 off eBay.
Yeah, that's eminently doable. It's just
It's
actually doing it.
doing it. Yeah, I
And then the
totally.
work of actually like friggin' like putting on the friggin' new shit and the new OS and cleaning out the old one, all that other
Yeah,
crap.
there are companies that'll do that for you for like 30
Right.
bucks, I think. Which raise the price about $80, but you know.
Right.
Of course, it all depends on whether you want to get a newer Kindle than I got. I got a first gen Kindle, which was why it was cheap. Which means there's certain things it can't do, but you know what? For what I want it for, it's perfect.
So as we're chatting here, I'm fucking around on various forums, and
Yeah.
someone just wrote up a. I'm looking at a new list someone wrote up for Pharaoh's Dr. Arcadius Nature of the Beast theme list.
Okay.
She's calling Number of the Beast because it's Dr. Arcadius, Targ, 6 gun bores, 6 Gorax, 6 freezer bores. Number of the Beast. 666.
Got it. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I, yeah. I'm not sure there's much else to talk about tonight. I mean, we could natter on about random things.
Yeah, we can natter on about whatever.
But we've been going for about an hour now, so
Yeah.
I think it's a good point to wrap up. We do have one email question, but I mean, which I'll read off. It's from Zen the
Okay.
First. The question was, I was wondering what the longest campaign you and Eric have either run or played in.
Longest campaign I've played in. I want to say that was either the Farscape game or the Shadowrun game. Both went for several years.
Mhm.
But, like, generally, someone ends up with game master fatigue, or I end up with a significant amount of character fatigue
Right.
before it goes on for much more than a year or two.
Right. Let's see. The games I've run, I had a feng shui game that lasted about 2.5, 3 years, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
That was the second feng shui game I ever ran. That was with my friends Peter Shaw, Joey, Jesse, and Matt. That lasted a long time. That was like I think it was closer to 3 years. Now I'm thinking about it. Had a Champions game that lasted a couple of years. Honestly, the MechWarrior game I ran with you guys on Tuesdays lasted
Oh,
a
yeah.
long time. That was
That's true. That lasted a while.
that was like 2 years also.
Yeah, thinking about it.
That was a year and a half, 2 years in there. Um, the first GURP Sci-Fi game I ran with Peter and Joey and Luke and the other guys lasted a couple of years, but that day wasn't a ton of adventures because it was run over during summer breaks while I was in college, and it was like run weekly during like summer break. So we basically it was run for a few we ran for like a few months, then we didn't run again until like we were next all on break from school, and then we ran for a few weeks, and then not again until we're all on break from school again. So
Right.
that was like
right.
in terms of calendar time was a long time. In terms of play time, it was still pretty lengthy. It was a good 20, 20 to 20 to 20 or so sessions, some of which went really long. Like the first session was 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I miss game sessions like that where you just go for like a whole weekend.
Yeah, I also played in a long D&D second edition game in college, which lasted in high school. Sorry, that lasted a couple of years. That was by my friend Sam Sherry.
Right.
The Amber game I ran on Thursdays lasted a long while. I want to say that was a year and a half, 2 years. And the D&D second ed game that Peter Shaw ran that was using old basic D&D modules that he sort of updated to second edition and such. that he stitched together an actual campaign out of. That lasted a good couple of years also.
Mm.
And the fourth D&D game I ran for that crew also lasted a couple of years. So I've got a bunch of 2 to 3 year games.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the couple of the games that Mike Penault ran for a while, but they were also very sporadic given his work situation.
Right.
Because he'd be like, "All right, well, I've got several months off. Let's play 2 times a week." Oh no, I'm gone for 6 months, guys. Sorry, I'm out of the country.
Right. So yeah, I'd say in general the longest games for me have been 2 to 3 years in that category, that realm. But yeah, like the MechWarrior game was like a year and a half, 2 years, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just really
actually the Star Wars game that Eric ran.
Oh right,
that Chris
not
ran.
me. That Chris ran.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lasted for quite a while. Thinking about
actually,
it.
those games ran simultaneously. We alternated week by week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That's why both of them lasted so long.
Yeah, it avoided the friggin' gamer burnout.
Right, because we were changing characters.
Game Master burnout.
We were changing characters every week.
Yeah. We should do that again at some point.
That's the way we should be doing the Tuesday game if when I can get my act back together and get out there on a regular basis.
Yeah, just do one, do another. Yeah.
It's the way. I mean, it's the ideal situation for that group. The problem is that because of the trip length for me.
Yeah, you end up being friggin'.
It's 2 hours for me each way. I mean, basically, hour and a half, 2 hours. So we don't have a ton of time when I'm out there.
Yeah, well, I got a bug out at 11, or I'm like stranded out there or taking a cab, and that's just not financially viable for me.
No. But yeah, for me, it's like, it's bus to subway to bus, really.
I think it's really funny when Leland complains about how it takes him an hour to get out there. It's like, yeah, it takes me an hour too. And Peter, it takes like 2.5. So shut up, Leland.
Yeah, I mean, I don't begrudge it. Driving an hour to get there is a pain in the butt. There's no question about that.
No, there's no question about that at all.
I can't fault Leland for not enjoying that.
No,
it's a great location once we're there. Honestly.
Yeah, no, there's lots of space. There's it's very homey feeling, but yeah, it's just a pain in the ass getting out there. Like a really big one.
Yeah. I'm trying to work out a way to be able to get out there regularly again.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to have you out there again.
Yeah, believe me, I miss seeing Chris and Hannah and Leland. Honestly, I mean, it's... But anyways, yeah. So, anyways, enough of that for this week, I think.
Yes.
Thanks for the question, Zen. Hope that answered your question. I think it did. Anyways, we should probably get moseying done with the recording so we don't go an hour and a half like we did last time.
Yeah, no shit.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you found something useful or entertaining or whatever. I hope you enjoyed the show. We record the show every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern here on hitbox.tv/mecha-gm. I wish the hyphen wasn't there. I really do. I wish I could just say Mecha GM without saying there's a hyphen in there between the A and the GM.
Because, screw you, reality.
Because someone grabbed Mecha GM before I did.
Fucking jerk. You'll destroy them.
Like, I thought for a while it was me, but no, it's not tied to... that account's not tied to any of my email addresses, so... Ah! At any rate, so we record on Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern on hitbox.tv/mechagm with a hyphen between the A and the GM. The recordings, I try to upload the recordings of this show onto YouTube as soon as I can, or as soon as I remember to, because I forget sometimes, because I'm a bit of a space cadet that way. But you can watch old episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/mechagm, no hyphen. Uh, I also tweet out when the show's going to go live and when I'm about to start streaming anything, honestly. So keep an eye on my Twitter. My Twitter handle is @MechaGM. Again, no hyphen. You see why I hate the hyphen. Stupid hyphen. Uh, if you've got questions you'd like us to answer in the show, we usually save time at the end of each show for questions if we have them. You can email them to us. Our email address is surlygrognards@yahoo.com. surlygrognards@yahoo.com, or you can post them to us on our forums, which you can find at mechagm.forumer.com. Again, no hyphen. If you've got feedback for us, ways we make the show better, things we could do to improve things, or just like saying you enjoy the show, feel free to hit us up at either place, or hit me up on Twitter, I guess, or mention it in the comments on YouTube. Lots of ways you can let us know.
All of those things.
If you've got show topic suggestions, things you'd like us to talk about on the show, we love show topic suggestions, guys.
We totally fucking love show topics.
Please send them to us. We're running out of ideas.
Give them to us, because we can only do so much. Like, oh, I watched Steven Universe all weekend. What did you do?
I rewatched Hustle for the 4th time, which I totally didn't do last week. Okay, I rewatched Hustle last week, the week before last. God, I love that show. Not only I rewatched Leverage a bit before that. Oh wait, I did.
Yeah.
At any rate, so that's going to do it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Send us your topic suggestions. Send us your questions. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Worst case, we'll just natter on about gaming again because that's what
we're good at that.
But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care. Keep on gaming, guys.
Bye.